Welcome to the January 14th, 2026 regular meeting of the Chino Valley Fire District Board of Directors. The time is 5:30 p.m. I'll now call the meeting to order. All 5 members of the board are present. We'll be going into closed session to discuss the following item: conference with legal counsel, anticipated litigation, significant exposure to litigation pursuant to paragraph 2 of subdivision D of section 54956.9, one or more potential cases. Do we have any comments for the closed session item? Seeing none, hearing none, we'll now adjourn to closed session. Good evening, everybody. I will now welcome to the January 14th, 2026 regular board meeting of the Chino Valley Fire District Board of Directors. The time is 6 o'clock, and we'll now begin the meeting and take roll. All 5 board members are in attendance. Legal counsel, do we have any report out of closed session?
Thank you, President Krieger. The board met in closed session and there was no reportable action taken.
Excellent. If everybody would please stand and join me in the flag salute and remain standing for the invocation, afterwards by Chaplain Hood. Please join me in honoring our great nation. Ready to begin? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Chaplain Hood.
Let us pray. Father God, we just thank you for your love, your kindness, and your mercy that you show us daily, Father. Lord, I want to lift up tonight's meeting, Father, that would be guided with wisdom and direction, Father, for our community. Father, I want to lift up all first responders, our fire personnel, and all of our firefighters, Father, that you put a hedge of protection around our city, our community, the stations, and everybody that's involved, Father. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Thank you.
Please be seated. Clerk of the board, do we have any changes for tonight's agenda?
And no changes to the agenda. Welcome, everyone. The first item on the agenda is presentations and announcements. And we're going to begin with our Employee Service Awards for 10 years. And we invite Captain Nathan Brooks to please come forward.
Captain Nathan Brooks began his fire service career in 2005 with the Chino Valley Fire District Explorer Program, became an EMT in 2009, later earned his paramedic certification. Nathan joined the Montclair Fire Department in 2012 and was hired by us here in 2016. He was promoted to engineer in 2020 and became captain just in January of this year. Captain Brooks serves on the Urban Search and Rescue Team, Honor Guard Pipes and Drums, and is a shift fire investigator and is vice president of the events for the Chino Valley Fire Foundation. Nate is currently assigned to Station 63C shift. Thank you, Nate, for your 10 years of service to the fire district, and congratulations.
Well, you guys know I will always have a little bit of a story about folks, and so when I got here, I kept hearing about this guy, Nathan. He wasn't here at the time. He was working at another fire department north of here. And I kept hearing about all the good work this guy does every day. And there came a point in time where he was actually, do you like being a captain? I do. Been a captain since January?
Yes, sir.
Probably could have been one sooner if you would have taken the chance to come here earlier. He was encouraged to come here much earlier in his career. He had to work through all those things, but he ended up here, and we're really happy to have him. Since Nathan's been here, he's come here, does really good work, and he participates and gets involved in a lot of extracurricular things. So we're very happy to have you here. Happy 10 years. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you.
Next, for 10 years of service, we want to invite up Captain Matthew Robertson to please come forward.
All right, Captain Matthew Robertson joined the Chino Valley Fire District in 2016 as a firefighter paramedic, was promoted to engineer in 2021 and then to captain in January 2026. He previously served with CAL FIRE Monterey and the South Pasadena Fire Department. Matt has contributed in numerous roles, including a SME for Fire Ground Survival RIC and Search and Rescue, served on multiple committees, CCIS, Engineers Pump Test Coordinator, USAR and Swiftwater Rescue member, and off-road driving instructor. Busy guy. He has also previously served as the MACS Facilities Director and Fire Explorer Program Advisor. Matt is currently assigned to Station 66A shift. Thank you, Matt, for your 10 years of service to the fire district, and congratulations on your.
So Matt's here for two reasons tonight, here to get his tenure, and then in a little bit, we're gonna honor him as his promotion to captain. As I reflect on, I look at Matt and Nathan and guys like that, I'm like, man, I'm glad I don't have to compete anymore. Matt came here from the area, general area that I came from, another fire department in what they call Area C. I heard about, I'll call him a kid. I heard about this kid when he was coming here, and everything that has been said to be true. As recently as today, I was having some conversations with some of the other chief officers, and I think at the end of the day, the only thing that's gonna stop Matt from anything he really wants to do in the fire service is Matt. He's a very, very talented man, and he has the right tone and respect and thought about pretty much everything, so congratulations. And
Next, for 10 years of service, we recognize firefighter paramedic Charles Addy to please come forward.
Firefighter paramedic Charles Addy began his career as an explorer with the Chino Valley Fire District before getting hired on by the district in 2016. Throughout his career, he has served as an explorer advisor, Fire Foundation board member, drone operator, and member of the CPR cadre. Charles is currently assigned to Station 61B shift. Thank you, Charles, for your 10 years of service to the fire district. Congratulations.
so, besides, in my opinion, I'm probably gonna embarrass him, maybe not, besides Charles having the best looking smile at Chino Valley Fire, it's not always about promotions for everybody. This gentleman gives back a lot. He serves on the cardiac care program, amongst other things. The board over here, we have some coins up there that really address all the opportunities that our folks have had in collaboration with our community to save another life in our community. Charles is at the head of that with many others, but Charles, we thank you so much for your time, and keep smiling and make us look good.
Let's take a picture. You want to smile for the camera?
Next, for 10 years of service, we invite firefighter paramedic Blake Lemke to please come forward.
Firefighter paramedic Blake Lemke began his fire service career in 2012 as a full-time firefighter paramedic with the city of Amesbury, Massachusetts. Amesbury, Massachusetts. He joined Chino Valley Fire District in January 2016. Blake has served as the peer support team, the CPR cadre, and is a certified drone pilot. Blake is currently assigned to Station 61C shift. Thank you, Blake, for your 10 years of service to the fire district, and congratulations.
Blake's one of those guys that came here from far away, so it's a testament to our organization. We're happy to have him. Blake's had gone through a lot in his life personally. He also serves on our cardiac care program. He's a very constant, steady, thoughtful man. So, Blake, we thank you. We thank you for your commitment to this organization, and you're just steady and committed, so we appreciate that. Oh, we do that too. There you go. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Next, for 10 years of service, we invite firefighter paramedic Miguel Lopez to please come forward.
Firefighter paramedic Miguel Lopez began his fire service career at 16 as an explorer with the Los Angeles County Fire Department in Malibu. He worked as an EMT with the emergency ambulance in Brea and served with the United States Forest Service as a firefighter and helicopter rappel crew member in 2003 and became a paramedic with AMR Rancho Cucamonga in 2010. He joined Barstow Fire Department in 2014 and has served with the Chino Valley Fire District since 2016. Miguel is active in department committees and teams, including the Honor Guard, Urban Search and Rescue, high-performance CPR cadre, REMS team, and serves as a snare drummer for the Pipes and Drums Band. He is also an ACLS BLS instructor. Miguel is currently assigned to Station 63B shift. Thank you, Miguel, for your 10 years of service to the fire district. Congratulations.
So I never really thought about it, but we just invited the last three guys up here, kind of four. And what I realize now is that every one of you guys we have a core group of folks that really take care of our cardiac care program, which is big for the Chino Valley Fire. I didn't realize you guys were all the 10-year guys, so you guys probably all got hired together. Anyway, thank you so much, Miguel, for all you do. As you can see, we have a lot of employees that do a lot of things here. Two of the programs that Miguel participates in, he does it out of his desire, which is our Pipes and Drums and our Honor Guard. You don't get paid for that, but those are really unique programs that the community, the electeds, everybody loves those programs, and they do it out of the goodness of their heart and their desire. So we encourage you to keep doing those things, and congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
You got it.
The next item on our agenda is promotion, recognition, and badge pinning. We invite Captain Matt Robertson to please come forward.
All right, as you all saw earlier, we recognized Matt for his 10 years of dedicated service. Today, we're pleased to recognize him again for the occasion of his promotion to captain. Congratulations, Matt, on this well-deserved accomplishment. On behalf of the Board of Directors, we wish you continued success in the new role.
You're probably all wondering what I'm gonna say, I just had to think about it. This is a very special promotion when you're in the fire service. It's probably the first, for me, it was the very first significant one. When I got hired at the fire department, obviously there's a lot of steps you have to go through, but I knew from day one that I really wanted to be a captain. So Matt, I congratulate you, and as I was thinking about what to say, I already said a lot of good things about you, but I think about the young people that are in school and then they graduate with a 4.7 or a 4.10 or whatever, something more than a 4.0, which I didn't even know was possible. I'm pretty sure that when Matt took his test, it was more than what points we awarded that were available. So Matt, you're a stellar young man. I know you're gonna do great things. So invite your mom, wife, children, whoever's gonna come up here to pin your badge.
Yeah, please, my wife and 2 boys. That's all right.
I made the mistake of inviting a wife beforehand as a child, and so I don't make those mistakes anymore. Hey, guys. You said you were excited. I heard you say you were excited to be here. Are you excited to be here? Yeah, we're excited for you to be here.
Good.
You want to take a picture with board president? Everybody jump in. It's a family affair. We can all just at least I'm taller than somebody.
Next, we invite Engineer Nick Gray to please come forward.
Engineer Nick Gray joined the fire service in 2008 and has previously served with the city of Loma Linda and the city of Ventura. In 2022, he lateraled to the Chino Valley Fire District, where he is currently assigned and actively involved in the frontline paramedic program, the peer support team, and fire investigation. Nick promoted to engineer on January 10th of 2026 and is currently assigned to Station 64B shift. Congratulations on your promotion. On behalf of the Board of Directors, we wish you continued success in the new role. Congratulations.
So I never had had the opportunity to work with Nick on the floor, so I don't have any funny stories necessarily, but what I can say is this, I know firsthand what it takes to leave an agency and go join another one. It's not necessarily easy. You have to relearn a lot of things. You have to reestablish relationships. Your family has to adjust to those things. Those are all things that you have to manage. So we want to congratulate you. I can tell you firsthand that taking our engineer's test here, I won't say it, Lieutenant Chief Kenny, but taking our engineer's test here is not an easy feat. It is a very, very arduous test. It's a test that many fail. But I will put any of our engineers up against anybody in this whole state with how qualified and how good they are at their job. So, job well done, congratulations, and keep up the good work. You can come up if you want to come up. Okay. Let's take a picture real quick, and then we'll get a proof.
We're going to take a very quick 5-minute break so the honorees tonight can take pictures with their family or their crews up front. If anybody wants a picture with a smiling face right here, let me know. But please, come up and take pictures.
Welcome back. The first item on our agenda under presentations is a presentation on Senate Bill 707 and new Brown Act requirements. Presentation by BBK Deputy Legal Counsel Elise Taylor.
Awesome, thank you so much. Hi everyone. So I'm going to be presenting on the Brown Act updates that happened under SB 707. This just went into effect as of January 1st of this year. There are a couple provisions that go into effect in July, but the ones that are really pertinent to us are going to be effect as of the 1st of this month. So here's a little agenda. We'll do a brief overview of the updates. We'll go into some of the bodies that are covered under these new rules. And then we'll go into some of the teleconferencing updates, which are the meat of what's really been updated here. Can you hear me? Go a bit closer. Okay. Okay. So an overview of SB 707. So as I said, it's effective as of January 1st, 2026. A lot of the updates really just amended and restated parts of the Brown Act that were already in place. The whole point of the update was to try and modernize the Brown Act in the face of a lot of the technological advances that have happened in the past 10 years. I will say this is one of the most extensive changes that we've seen in the past 10 years to the Brown Act. So a lot of these changes surround teleconferencing updates, some new requirements, some new methods, and also just cleaning up a lot of the mess that was in place already. Okay. So there are really two main bodies covered under these updates. You have the eligible legislative bodies, and then you have everyone else. Luckily for us, we're a part of the everyone else. A lot of the changes that are in effect will actually only affect the eligible legislative bodies, but since we're not a part of that, we don't have to worry about that, and that is always good. So some of the updates, we don't have to worry about them, so let that go. That's amazing, wonderful. So we'll go forward to the actual changes that we have, which is under the teleconferencing. So the classic rules for teleconferencing will all remain the same. There's been no change there. So we still have to post the agenda. We still have to make sure that teleconference locations are accessible to the public. And we still have to ensure that there's a quorum of the body present to participate. And again, all of those still have to be taken by roll call. This will apply no matter what method you use of teleconferencing. Okay, so one of our first main updates comes under reasonable accommodations. So prior to SB 707, there was actually no explicit carve out for reasonable accommodations under the ADA. So this update has actually allowed that if you have to request an accommodation through the ADA, you can now use teleconferencing in compliance with that. There are a couple of requirements that you have to meet, so the member would still have to participate via audio and visual technology. But if they have a physical condition related to their disability that prevents them from participating with video, they may take the video off. In addition, before any action is taken, the member still has to let the body know if someone in the room is 18 or older, and then also their relationship to that person. So it can be very minimal of what you actually say. You can just say my spouse, my child, my caretaker. It doesn't have to go into detail. And again, this is going to be treated like in-person participation. So all the other Brown Act rules, these rules here will not apply. And now we get into the alternative teleconferencing method. So this one is a little bit bigger. There are methods that we already have in place, like for emergencies and for just cause, but now we have 2 additional options for subsidiary bodies and multi-jurisdictional bodies. When it comes to alternative teleconferencing, there are a whole set of rules just for this type of teleconferencing. So we'll go over those first, and then we'll go into like the actual details of each specific method. Okay, I know there's a lot of text. I will summarize. So for alternative teleconferencing, the general rules pretty much stayed the same. You have to participate via 2-way audio-visual, or you have to allow for 2-way telephone service with live webcasting. This is really just to ensure that the public can talk and hear the meeting at the same time as everyone else. So it's just supposed to help broaden access to the meetings and ability to public comment. In addition, before any action is taken, any member of the body that is teleconferencing will have to let everyone know, I have someone in the room that's 18 or older and your relationship to that person. Again, very brief, not a lot of description needed. You'll also have to post all the agenda instructions online, and you'll also have to post online how someone can request a reasonable accommodation, which are pretty much still the same rules that are already been in effect. Here we have 2 new rules under alternative teleconferencing. So the first one is regarding disruption. So if there's a disruption in the meeting that prevents the public from being able to participate or give public comment, the meeting actually has to stop, resolve the disruption, and then come back to the meeting. This is a new change that's just recently happened. This is likely due to a lot of like the technological like Wi-Fi or network problems that people have been having, so something to be mindful of. In addition, the other new update is regarding the minutes. So prior to this enactment, you didn't have to do this, but now the minutes will have to state who attended via teleconference and what method they used, because there's so many methods available for them to use. You don't have to say why, you just have to say they used Just Cause, they used a subsidiary body. And now we'll go into the actual rules of each teleconferencing method. So these 2 are pretty much the same as they've always been. We have state and local emergencies and Just Cause. So state and local emergencies actually came into effect in, I want to say 2020, right around the height of the pandemic, under AB 361. So this new update actually just adds, before only state emergencies would allow you to use teleconferencing under the Brown Act. Now it's been expanded to also include local emergencies as defined here. But in addition, we also have the Just Cause, which is exactly the same as it used to be, but it allowed an exception for military service, which I was very surprised was not already there, but, you know, at least we're trying to update and move forward.
Elise,
Yeah.
would you, I think the board would probably be interested to know what actually led to the addition of the local emergencies.
So that really had to do with the fires that happened last year. Since the fires weren't in the entire state, they were really localized to Southern California. This rule would now allow a locality like a county board to state that there's an emergency in their area, rather than waiting for the governor of the state to declare an emergency for the entire state. Oh, one more thing to note is that for Just Cause, as it's always been, there is a use limit. So if your board or your body only meets once a month, you can only use this exemption 2 times a year. If you meet twice a month, you can use it 5 times a year. And that's the same as it's always been. So then one of the major updates comes in the form of the eligible subsidiary bodies. So these are really going to be smaller advisory commissions or advisory bodies that don't have any final decision-making power over legislation, regulations, contracts, licenses, permits. They're really in an advisory capacity. This will allow members of the body, and actually the entire body, to meet via teleconference. However, there has to be at least one physical location where the public can still meet. A member of the body does not have to be there, but a staff member will have to be there. In addition, the legislative body, so the governing body that created the subsidiary body, also has to produce findings that support the use of teleconference for that subsidiary body, and they have to repeat those findings every 6 months. This would normally be through like a resolution of some sort. In addition to that, the subsidiary body must also approve use of teleconferencing through majority vote. So there's a couple little steps to really get there, but it's a useful practice if you have smaller bodies that don't meet very frequently. This will not be applicable to elected officials serving their official capacity. So if anyone on the subsidiary body is an elected official, they would not be eligible to use this option, but the rest of the body still could. And then there's one more requirement that's not really explained super well in the text, but any subsidiary body is allowed to present recommendations to the governing body. There's no rules about how or when or how frequently. That's really up to the 2 bodies to decide. And then the last teleconferencing method is going to be eligible multi-jurisdictional bodies. So these are normally very large JPAs. There's some sort of legislative body that has appointed members from multiple jurisdictions, or it's the legislative body of a JPA. To use this type of method, you have to have a resolution that authorizes use of it, and it has to be done during open session. So then the public can be able to comment on it and things of that nature. To use this method, you also have to have the member identify on the agenda where they're going to be participating remotely, ensure that they're still using the 2-way audio and visual technology, and then they have to live 20 miles away from every physical location. So this is kind of the caveat that hurts a lot of people, because if you have physical locations at 3 different places, that member has to be 20 miles away from every single location to be able to use this method. In addition, a quorum still has to participate from 1 or more physical locations. So this wouldn't necessarily be available to the entire body to use like it would be for the subsidiary bodies. The use limits still apply. So again, 2 times per year if you meet once a month, 5 times per year if you meet twice a month. Oop. And now we'll get into the miscellaneous updates. These are just not random updates, but they're the ones that don't really fit into any particular category. So the first update is social media restrictions. Prior to the law passing, members of a body weren't able to use social media to have serial meetings or have any sort of meeting outside of your normal Brown Act meeting. That still stands, but now there is an indefinite extension on it, where before it was going to be limited only to January 1st, 2026.
Elise?
Yeah.
Can you maybe give some examples of what would constitute a serial meeting on
Yeah.
on a social media post or something?
Yeah,
of
of
that
course. So if one member makes a post about an item that's under the jurisdiction of the body, and then another member likes, comments, reposts, shares that post, that can constitute a serial meeting. If two members of the same body are on a Facebook group and they're talking about an item that's coming up, that can be a serial meeting. So it can happen very quickly without even realizing that it's gonna happen. But just try to stay off of social media, exactly. As much as you can, or just do not interact with anyone else. In addition, a recent change was that any body is going to provide copies of the Brown Act to all the members. It can be electronic or paper, but you only have to provide it one time. So once you all get it, you're good to go. The next updates are really regarding special meetings. So special meetings, there's a couple of different changes that have happened to them. One is that prior to the law being passed, if a member of a board was going to be noticed about a special meeting, they could waive that notice via telegram, and that was the only way. No phone, no email, no text, just telegram. So now it's been expanded to also allow for phone and for email.
Western Union?
It involves a tech.
So now you can also waive by phone or email, which is great. In addition, for special meetings, you must post a special meeting agenda online if you have a website. So if your body has a website, post your special meeting agenda. Most bodies, they already do this, but if you don't, just a note for that. In addition, you're not allowed to hold special meetings. This is a new one that is interesting because they already had it in effect. Now they've expanded it. So prior to the law passing, you weren't allowed to hold a special meeting to discuss salary or benefits of executives of a legislative body. Now they've expanded that to where you cannot talk about salary or benefits in a special meeting for any of the body, for the entire body and the executives. So they just expanded it to also cover the entire body. And then there's also an update regarding removal of disruptive virtual attendees. This is really good because we know about Zoom bombing and all those types of things. If there's an individual that's attending a meeting via teleconference and they're being disruptive, maybe they're saying things out of turn, maybe they're doing things on their monitor, you are allowed to remove them from the meeting, even if it's over Zoom or webcasting. However, you want to be mindful to try to still work with that person, maybe mute them, maybe turn their video off, something before you get to just kicking them out, but essentially you do have that power now under the Brown Act. And those are all of our updates, so if you have any questions, please let me know.
All right, so does any board members have any questions? Well, I guess the public first. Does the public have any questions? Anybody? No. Does the board have any questions? Yeah. Go ahead.
Thanks, Elise. I have a couple questions, and I may be remiss in knowing this. I know we record this and we post it on YouTube, but does that mean now we have to have live interactions, so we're gonna have to change?
Yes.
And then along those lines, we have in the past do our teleconferencing just audio. We are now gonna have to teleconference video and audio?
Exactly. You can also do a two-way telephone as long as you have live webcasting, or you do the two-way visual and audio.
Okay, and then third, with the ADA compliant part, if somebody emails, like the clerk and says, hey, I'm disabled, whatever, I'd like to attend this meeting, then we're gonna have to, they're gonna be able to do it like from home and video, and then we're gonna be able to see it on these screens? Is that like the new law, what we're gonna have to do?
Exactly. Essentially, there's gonna be the two-way audio visual, even if someone is attending, using a reasonable accommodation, unless they have a physical condition that prevents them or that hinders them from being on video.
Okay.
Well, I think this is really for you five, right, to facilitate your attendance remotely. So it wouldn't be the same for a member of the public who said, I'd like to attend, but I have a disability. Obviously we could if we'd like to, but really this is for you five to be able to participate. And so, so you would have to say, I have a covered disability under the ADA.
Okay.
And this is really for our electeds.
Okay,
Yeah, thank you.
thank you.
Sarah?
Okay, so under the quorum, it was at the beginning, now before quorum, we used to have minimum 3. With this change, is the quorum now, as long as we have a quorum participating, not necessarily in,
Exactly.
okay,
Yeah.
wow, so that was a change, okay. Okay, thank you.
No? Excellent. Nothing for me.
Thanks
Thank
so
you very
much.
much for your
Thank you.
presentation.
The next presentation on the agenda is Fire Station 68, an Essential Resource Facility Project Update. Presentation by Deputy Chief Jeremy Alt.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. We are here tonight to, when we originally awarded the contract for the general contractor, the board gave direction and asked that we would come back quarterly and just give you an update on the status of the project. So aside from physically being able to drive by and see what the status of the project is, we wanted to give you an idea of what's physically been completed at the site up to date. So there was quite a bit of dirt that needed to be removed in order for enough cut to build the foundations of the station. So that was the initial phase, was actually the grading. That site grading has been completed. The building pads where we're gonna essentially pour foundations for the buildings, those pads have been set and the elevations established. That means the different levels and the different elevations of the site have been set and surveyed. Additionally, the majority of the underground plumbing and electrical has been installed. As you can imagine, before they start to pour concrete, they need to make sure that all the underground work needs to be done. In addition to that, we've coordinated with the major utilities to have a plan for gas, electric, those kinds of things. So what is currently occurring at the site is they are in the process of completing that remaining underground electrical and plumbing. They are completing the final layout of where they're actually gonna put the batten boards and things like that. And forgive me for being remiss, we do have our construction manager from Transtech Engineers, Ryan Bressler's with us in the audience tonight. Thank you for being here, Ryan. He's been our bulldog on scene, if you will, to make sure that everything is going well on the project, and we really appreciate the work he's been doing for us on our behalf. And then they're also getting ready to set the foundations for that essential resource facility, the planning thereof. So what comes next? We will begin the footing and foundation work for the essential resource facility. They'll complete the trenching, inspections, backfill for whatever remaining underground utilities are required, and then prepare for the foundation work on the station. We'd say it's about 10% through on the job, if you will. It's been quite a bit of time, and there are no sticks in the air, as we call them. We haven't begun any vertical construction, but there has been quite a bit of coordination just to get the site excavated in preparation. And as you've been aware, there are many weather impacts that we've actually had a warm and wet winter thus far. And so as part of our normal process, there are a number of rain days that are set aside in the contract that the contractor is responsible for in their time frame. It's looking like we're gonna be having to work through some more rain and mud days, and that will be part of our management process to how we reconcile those days that have delayed the project. Again, that's part of our weekly meeting. We sit down with the architects, the construction firm, Transtech Engineers is our construction management, and members of Chino Valley Fire are also present as we go through our weekly construction meetings. And again, a lot of those processes are determined during those meetings. I just wanted to provide, thank you again for Transtech for some overhead drone shots. In the foreground, you can see the pad for the essential resource facility. That'd be the bottom left corner of the screen looking towards the station site. You can see where the new entrance will be on the right-hand side of the screen. The current gate entrance is where the new entrance will be for return. And you can see in the back left corner, that's where the parking lot essentially will be with the station pad at the top right. A little bit of a different angle, this is looking the opposite direction, you can see clearly where the station outline will be for that foundation pad. The part nearest the bottom of the screen is gonna be where the living quarters are, and then the apparatus bay would be where that tractor sit in the middle of it. Same area, reverse viewpoint. Looking out with Sokol Canyon on the right-hand side of the screen. Again, one more shot back from, if you will, the parking lot area, the rear of the property, looking back towards Sokol Canyon and Pipeline. You can see those various pads, and you can see in the previous shot how much dirt had to be removed in that upper left side there. You can see how that cut went pretty deep into the existing lay of the land, if you will. And this is one final shot of the essential resource facility. And you can see how some of the underground there has been completed, and this is the pad where they'll begin planning to get the foundations laid. That actually completes my presentation at this point, and I'm open for any kind of questions you may have at this point.
All right. Board members, any questions? I'm sorry, Chief.
I don't have a question, I just actually wanted to say thank you, Ryan. He was requested to be here last minute and he accommodated, so thank you, Transtech, and thank you specifically, Ryan, appreciate it.
Tom?
Yeah, I don't know, Jeremy or Ryan, during the excavation, were there any surprises as far as you didn't hit oil, you didn't find any gold or silver or anything? Artifacts from that, was there any of that?
Glad to report, no, nothing of note. We'll knock on wood as we're still
Yeah.
working on the project, but no major surprises.
And hooking into the Chino Hill sewer line, there's some distance there, isn't it, from that, or?
Yeah, we're working through quite a few logistics of making access to not only sewer, but water and gas.
Right.
Where the contractor's gonna end up having to essentially go across the street to access those things in certain circumstances. So it is quite the undertaking, but it's all part of that project.
Okay, all right, well, sounds good, looks good, that's all I have.
Andy?
I have two questions, and Ryan could probably answer this. Is both pads are they an equal grade, or is the ERF at a lower grade than the station?
It's a little lower than the station.
Okay,
And that's for the flow of all the water and everything like that.
okay,
So
back
that
towards
way-
that back catch basin thing?
Some of it's through the back catch basin, and then some we have new storm drains that we put in. So it'll flush this way, and then the station will go this way, so it kind of centers it.
Okay. And then my other question, and I did contact Chief Alt, but I'm still gonna ask it, is, in the warrants, we have we got a charge for 11,000 for PBK architects. So are we continue that they're making changes, or we still are paying them for this?
Yeah, great question. So our contract with PBK runs from the design phase all the way up to commissioning, when we're turning over the keys essentially. So one might think that since they are the architect, they just draw the drawings and their job is done. It's not actually the case. As we go through this process and as we work with the general contractor to take the drawings and, make them real in real life, oftentimes we come across things that might need to be changed, modified, adjusted. There's a process we go through with requests for information, or RFIs. There's an official process that the contractor will submit back through. So the design firm, PBK, does have an ongoing active role, and like I mentioned, they're at every one of our construction meetings. And additionally, there was a portion of their contract that was dedicated specifically to this phase of construction, and that's what we're paying due on.
Okay, so, that money's already been encumbered, then we're not
Correct, that was encumbered when we contracted with PBK initially.
Okay, cool. No, I walk by it almost daily, so looking forward to it being done.
Excellent.
Thank you.
We heard it tonight, and I heard it at other events too, the job, Ryan, that you're doing and your firm's doing. Appreciate that. You being the bulldog that we understood you guys to be when we engaged you, and appreciate what you're doing to help us with this project, so thank you.
Thank you.
Yep, I wanna
For the
thank,
update. Appreciate
I wanna thank Ryan and staff as well for the continuous updates on what's going on, and let's keep it on track. Excellent, thank you.
Hey, Mike, is there any chance to ask two quick questions?
Sure, go ahead.
Was this a ballot site or did you have to haul dirt off?
We had to haul quite a bit of dirt off. They actually hauled off more than they anticipated. We had over 350 trucks that carried
Wow.
11 yards each. So
Was it 17 million cubic feet, I think?
Yeah. So it was quite a bit of soils we had to take.
And where did that go?
We actually, there was a facility in Riverside, they used it for another job.
Okay.
So they dumped it and we have the dump slips to show where it actually went. So they recycled it was in the contract for them to recycle the soil.
Okay, were we able to sell it to that other site?
It wasn't necessarily a sell, it's the contractor's responsibility, part of their contract. So whatever they do with it is none of our business
Is what they
at
do.
this point.
Okay, and last question, the main entrance or main driveway into the site, is it gonna line up specifically or with pipeline, or will it be an offset?
It's a little bit of an offset.
Yeah, so quite a bit of work went into redesigning how that flow is through the intersection. We worked quite a bit with the city. You can imagine, because there's a return drive and there's the exit through the apparatus bay, right? And so we had to do, it's not gonna line up exactly, but the entire intersection is being designed to accommodate all of that.
Yeah, cause there's not much you can do on the north side, I mean, it's given, there's housing, obviously. there,
Correct,
so.
correct.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, I didn't ask our engineers any of this question, but I thought since you
Yeah,
were.
no worries, we work closely with the city. It'll be interesting to see because, as you can imagine, whether the apparatus needs to turn right or left when it comes out of the station needed to be addressed, right? And that is not right at the T intersection, it's actually offset a little bit. So we had to work to make a pathway for the apparatus to turn left. We also had to make a pathway for, not only visitors, but the apparatus, if they were headed westbound on Soquel Canyon, they had to be able to turn left into the return drive. And that was not right at the intersection either. And actually, it's illegal to make a U-turn in front of a fire station. So we had to accommodate the fact that you had to be able to make a left turn into the station and not a U. So we did quite a bit of work. I think everyone's gonna be happy with the final product.
And of course, there's not gonna be a lot west of, going west out on Soquel Canyon until we do finish the loop and connect that.
Correct.
With Peyton at some point in the future, but,
Correct.
okay, yeah, sorry, just
Yeah.
thought it might be good information. just to
Absolutely.
throw out there. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Excellent.
Thank you. The next item on the agenda is public communications. This is a time and place for the general public to address the Board of Directors about subjects that do not appear elsewhere on the agenda. The public may address items on the agenda at the time addressed by the board. Due to board policy and Brown Act requirements, action may not be taken on any issue not on the agenda. When you address the board, please state your name and address prior to making your remarks, and please limit your comments to 3 minutes. I have no written request to speak under public communications. Is there anyone present who would like to address the board at this time? Seeing none. The next item is the liaison reports to the fire district, and we invite Suzette Dang from San Bernardino County, 4th District to come forward. Thank you.
Well, good evening and Happy New Year, President Krieger, Vice President Howie, Directors, Chief Williams, Deputy Chiefs, staff, and audience members. Suzette Dang with your county district, 4th District County Supervisor Kurt Hagman's office. Pleasure to be here. Supervisor Hagman is accepting applications from 4th District residents to be part of the solution and serve on the County Behavioral Health Commission. Applicants must be residents of the 4th District, which includes Chino, Chino Hills, Montclair, Ontario, and Upland, generally below 14th Street, as well as the immediately surrounding unincorporated areas. For more information, eligibility requirements, or to apply, scan the QR code that's on the flyer, it's in the back, or call 909-387-3961. Again, that's 909-387-3961. Don't forget to sign up for Supervisor Hagman's newsletters for county updates and events coming up. And you can also contact our district office anytime for assistance or any questions that we can serve you. The number is 909-465-5265. And that is it for this evening. So thank you. Just like to wish you and your families a very blessed 2026. and be healthy.
Thank you, Suzanne.
Next, we invite Councilmember Karen Comstock, City of Chino.
She's hiding in the back.
Hiding in the back.
Well, good evening and Happy New Year, board members, command staff, and members of the audience. Karen Comstock, City of Chino Liaison, and I want to thank you for letting me share some relevant information about programs, events, and items of interest from the City of Chino. First, I'd like to start with our Lunar New Year celebration. I would like to invite you all to Chino's first ever Lunar New Year celebration happening on January 31st and February 1st on the City Hall lawn. Our celebration will feature a vibrant lineup of activities and performances honoring traditions from across Asia, including lion and dragon dances, acrobatic acts, and music and dance showcases ranging from traditional Chinese folk and performances, of course, from K-pop, which, as you know, is wildly popular right now. Join the celebration and welcome the New Year, the Year of the Horse with your community. For more information, visit cityofchino.org/events. Euclid Avenue Bridge Project. Next, I am very pleased to announce that our Euclid Avenue Bridge project is moving forward, and we want you and our community to be part of the conversation. The project is now moving into environmental review, a key step that includes public scoping, technical analysis, and community input. We'll be holding a public scoping meeting on the project on Tuesday, January 27th at 6 p.m. at the Park House located at 15871 Main Street in Chino. We will also be hosting a virtual meeting on Thursday, January 29th. Join the conversation and help us create a project we can all be proud of. For more information about the project, including meeting details and an interactive map, visit cityofchino.org/Euclid. Run for Russ. Finally, I'd like to announce that the annual Run for Russ Memorial 5K, which is taking place on Saturday, February 7th. The Run for Russ honors the legacy of Chino police officer Russ Miller, who tragically lost his life in the line of duty to a drunk driver on February 1st, 2000. Registration is currently open, and all proceeds support the Chino Police Officers Foundation, which aids the Chino community in times of need. I'd also like to thank the Chino Valley Fire Board and their membership. The Chino Valley Firefighters Association. They come out and support us every year for that. It means a lot to us at the police department by flying our flag and just supporting our brothers in public safety. So thank you for your ongoing support of this run every year. Finally, a friendly reminder that city facilities will be closed on a limited schedule on Monday, January 19th, in observance of Martin Luther King Day. So they'll either be closed or on a limited scope. Also, we are having Chili Chino Snow Day this Saturday. It is an event that you had to pre-register for and you need tickets, but if a member of the board would like some tickets, I'm sure I could get some for you. We're having it in the evening this year in hopes of preserving the snow that's being brought into Ayala Park. As you know, it's probably going to be about 78 degrees that day. So hopefully the time it starts at 4 o'clock, the kids can enjoy it and have a good time. It's actually been pretty popular. That concludes my report, and I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have for me. Thank you. It's good to see you. I was a little absent over the holidays, just busy with different things, so I apologize for not being able to get to some of the Firefighters Foundation events, but nonetheless, thank you for all the work and for all the joy that you brought to so many people in this community over the holidays. Thank you, Board, for your continued support and collaboration with the city. I look forward to working with you this year. Thank you, Chief, and the staff.
Thanks, Ken.
Next, Councilmember Art Bennett, Chino Hills.
I'm gonna pass. I think I already took a.
Next, we invite President Mark Bozek, Chino Valley Fire Foundation.
Good evening, President Krieger, members of the board, fire chiefs, staff. I didn't have a liaison report last month, so this continues from November. So in November, on November 15th, we had a event with Luchador called Hops in the Hills that they put on, and basically with the funds made, they donated to the Fire Foundation. It was very successful despite the rain we had that day, which we were worried about. So if you guys participated, thank you very much. On December 2nd and 4th, we had our senior delivery programs, which I know you guys were there, and I appreciate it, which we served breakfast and passed out gifts for 400 plus seniors in Chino and Chino Hills. On December 7th, we did our annual Stuff the Boot and toy drive. We had off-duty personnel there with their families, and we collected nearly $14,000 in donations with that event for one day, which was amazing and will help out through the year for our future programs. On December 10th, we had our Make a Child Smile program. We had a really good turnout. We had a lot of volunteers, and we made a lot of children happy that day. So again, thank you guys for showing up and helping out with that program, and thank you to our members for donating their time to be there. We had some community support in recent incidences that we've had over the last month, that we've assisted multiple families affected by recent incidents in the district. That's what the money's there for, and we're happy to assist those families. We have on Friday coming up, January 16th, from 5 to 8, we have our inaugural, I should say, because it's our first one, softball tournament, which we will be playing Ontario Fire, and we will be winning. All proceeds we're going to be split between Ontario's foundation and our foundation for that event. So we hope to see you guys there. We hope the community shows up to support it, and we're really excited for this event. That concludes my report, unless you guys have any questions.
Thank you.
No,
Thank you
thank
for
you.
everything you guys have done.
Next, we invite Chair Charlie Blank from Fire Safety Council.
Yes.
And I believe that concludes our liaison reports. The next item is the consent calendar.
All right, we're on to the consent calendar, items number 1 through 6. Do we have any public comments on the consent calendar? Seeing none, hearing none, we'll move on to the board. Does anybody wish to pull any items, number 1 through 6? And seeing none, I'll entertain a vote.
Motion
or a
to
motion.
approve.
Second.
We have a motion from Director Evinger, a second by Director Romaine. All in favor? Aye. 5-0 vote. Thank you.
Thank you. The next item on the agenda is under new business, item number 7, Fire District Board Member Compensation. The purpose is for the Board of Directors to review and discuss board member compensation, and I'll be providing that report tonight. Item number 7 on the agenda is the Fire District Board Member Compensation. In accordance with board policy, this item is brought back to the board in January of even-numbered years to determine whether any adjustment is appropriate. This is done in accordance with state law that allows for increases in compensation by ordinance up to 5% for each calendar year following the effective date of the last adjustment. It has been 2 calendar years since the last board-approved compensation increase. Board member compensation is currently set at $183.86 per meeting service day. And based on the 2 calendar years since the last adjustment, the maximum allowable increase would be $18.38 per meeting or service day, resulting in a total maximum allowable compensation of $202.24 per meeting service day. Of note, the maximum number of compensable meetings or service days the maximum number of compensable meetings or other days of service rendered as a member of the board remains at 10 days per month. Should the Board of Directors wish to consider an ordinance to amend the board member compensation, the proposed schedule is outlined in the staff report with the first reading and public hearing of the ordinance set for February 11th, second reading and adoption of the ordinance on March 11th, and the ordinance effective date, which would be July 1st. So as indicated in the staff report, the recommendation tonight is that the board review and provide direction to staff regarding whether to proceed with consideration of an ordinance amending the board member compensation, and if so, the corresponding per meeting service day compensation amount to be considered in accordance with board policy and state law. That concludes my report. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Do we have any requests to speak from the public? And seeing none, hearing none, we'll bring it back to the board for discussion. And would anybody like to lead this one off?
Okay, I will, since you're looking at me.
Normally it's me, so go ahead.
Would anybody, you look, that's okay. I'm happy to lead this off. I personally feel that at this time we should move forward in having an increase in that. The $18.38 isn't gonna impact us financially. You know, honestly. We, for years, we bypassed this when when the district did not have, when we were in not such a great financial place, we bypassed it for many, many years. And, I feel that we should, at this point, go by the policy and increase it by the $18.38 per meeting.
All right.
Yeah,
Director Romaine.
I'll jump in there. So, like anything, I set it out with, I did it all by the percentages and then what our potential is. So if we were to do a 10% max, which sounds like, oh my gosh, 10% max. A 10% raise times 10 meetings is $234. It's a sum, but I mean, we travel, we travel anywhere in the district. That's part of our duties, and, it's an 80 square mile district. I just think moving forward, it's only fair to tackle that amount.
Director Luth.
Historically, we've not done the maximum, we've basically done half, basically 2.5% a year versus the 5% that is allowed. I still feel that would be appropriate. That's where I'm inclined to think we should be, is to stay there. I agree. I think the district is financially healthy, but we do have we still got a big bill coming on that
100%.
on that building, and so anyway, that's where I'm at. I would prefer a 2.5% increase, so basically half that amount. That's the maximum.
Director Howell.
Let's see, turn this on. Hello. Yeah. So I think I agree with Harvey. I think the 5% overall, it sends a good message. It's just 2.5% a year. I mean, we're only talking about a difference of $9 per meeting here, so it's not a big deal. So I could go either way on this, but I think the 5% sends a better message at 2.5%, especially when we have contracts coming up, and if we don't go 5% with everybody else, and we're doing 5%, I don't think it sends a great message. I think the 2.5 sends a better message. Okay,
If I may, it's the hard dollars I don't think are so significant. It's the percentage and.
Sure.
Yeah.
So, I'm split on this, simply because there's been record inflation over the last 2 years, that have just been absolutely massive. So I would like to come up with a compromise, and it's like 5.6%, so it's not a lot. Our finance department has asked that we round this off to the next highest dollar, so 5% takes us just over $193. It's a little over $9 increase. I'd like just to round it off at 10. A $10 increase per meeting. Does that make sense, Mark? Is that what?
Yeah, but we still have an odd number.
Oh, I'm
of
sorry.
pennies, right?
No, take it up to 194. So.
In total.
So 194 total
Okay, I understand what you're saying.
versus 183.86, which is where we are right now.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be 5-point-something percent, because 5% is 193.05.
Change,
Is that your motion?
That's my motion.
Okay, I'll second that. I have no problem with
Is there a
that.
second? So we're going to do a voice vote on this, so we'll start with
We
Sarah.
need the specific math in this motion,
Or just the dollar amount's okay?
So so the motion is to bring an ordinance back for the board's consideration. next
Increasing
meeting.
it to $194 per meeting.
to whatever that percentage is.
Okay, so yes, so the motion is, and then we'll bring that back next month. Okay, thank you.
So that's good for you guys? That's good for Mark? Okay.
Got a motion and a
So a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Tom? Aye. Andy?
Aye.
Yes.
And yes for me, so 5-0 vote on that. And I just, I say this every time, but it's embarrassing that we have to discuss this as a group about giving ourselves a pay raise, but it's what's mandated by law. So, and this board has made the mistake of holding off historically, years ago, where they didn't do a raise for like 6 years, and then it was than a 30% raise, and it just doesn't make sense. So by doing this we're eligible to do this every year, 5% a year, but we wrote into our board policy to readdress it every 2 years instead. So just for some historical aspects of that. All right.
Thank you. The next item on the agenda is item number 8, Board of Directors Annual Individual Membership Review. The purpose is for the Board of Directors to review and approve individual memberships for board members in accordance with Board Policy 1090. And I'll be providing the report again this evening on this report. And again, in accordance with board policy, we're bringing this item back to the board. The board members are allowed up to 2 individual memberships per year. And each year we bring this back for their review and approval. On the staff report, it lists the board members and their respective memberships. And I'm bringing this item to the board for their review, consideration, and approval. And that concludes my report. I'm happy to answer any questions.
All right, any members from the public want to discuss this? Seeing none, hearing none, I'll bring it back to the board. So what we have is myself for Rancho del Chino Rotary, Tom Howey for Rancho del Chino Rotary, Director Harvey Luth Kiwanis Club, Director Evanger for Rancho del Chino Rotary and National Fire Protection Association. Director Romaine, do you want to throw your name in the hat or join one of the service groups within
No,
the
I've
community?
been pressured by both. I'm going to still wait here. I'm still learning this job, so.
I waited 11 years,
Yeah.
so I hear you. All right, so we'll need a motion and a second, and I'll motion it to move forward.
I'll second.
And Director Howard, second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
Thank you. The next item on the agenda is item number 9, SB 105 Communications Infrastructure. Purpose is for the board to review and authorize the fire chief or designee to accept the grant and execute the associated subaward and pay data record document with Cal OES and the state of California, and any amendments or related documentation. The report tonight is by Finance Director Mark Shaker.
Thank you. It's nice to start the new year with something positive. The item before you tonight is to seek board authorization to accept the state of California pass-through allocation related to the SB 105 Communications Infrastructure Funding. The $360,000 budget appropriation for new communications equipment is being funded through Cal OES. Staff is requesting authorization for the fire chief or his designee to accept the funding agreement and execute the required Cal OES subaward documents, including any amendments or related documentation. This action tonight does not authorize the purchase. However, staff will return to the board at a future meeting once the equipment and service details are finalized to request approval to expend the funds at that time. That's the end of my report, and happy to answer any questions.
Any members of the public wish to speak on this item? None? Any members of the board wish to ask a question on this? All right, so we need to have a motion and a second for the board to authorize the fire chief or designee to accept the grant.
Authorize the fire chief.
I'll second. And Director Luth seconds, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, 5-0 affirmative, thank you. Yeah. Chief, we're up to you. Sorry, that was for me to say. I apologize.
Thank you, sir. Under Board Activities and Public Relations, in addition to the Make a Child Smile and Senior Deliveries, as already mentioned by Foundation President Bozak, staff also attended the Chino Hills Boat Parade as well as the Chino Parade. And we also had an administrative Christmas holiday lunch with our staff. Under Human Resource Update, we held interviews for an accountant position for the vacancy created by Ms. Dawn Burns. We have selected a candidate, and she's currently in backgrounds, and it's anticipated that she has a start date in early February. So we're super excited to get that position filled and continue forward. Recruitment for firefighter paramedic closed on December 19th. We received roughly 100 applications, and approximately 90 are being invited for interviews. taking place the week of January 26th. Under personnel development activities, personnel participated in various training sessions throughout the month of December, including our annual night drill. I had the opportunity to go out there and witness, and it's interesting that you can continue to be impressed. I think our folks are just doing phenomenal work, and the training was not only at an exceptional level, but the ability to step back after the training was completed was probably what I was most impressed with. Our folks to take time to express their appreciation, but also to talk about things that we can improve upon. So when you get to that place in an organization where you can look each other in the eye and talk about the things that didn't go so well and improve on those areas, and you do it with the right tone and respect, I think that's the next level of an organization, and I think that's where we're in. So thank you to all of our personnel for their hard work. Under organizational items of interest, staff were notified this week that the appellate court has reversed the injunction related to the ambulance transport service. Although there is still legal work to be done, we are one step closer to being permitted to provide ambulance services through Confire JPA in collaboration with our priority ambulance partners. So we continue to work through that process until such time we are either told no or we're given the keys to the ambulances. Under emergency response and support, we are beginning our first round of training on our new Pierce truck, the Train the Trainer. Engineers introduced the new Pierce tractor-drawn aerial. Additional training for district personnel will follow soon. So if you're not aware, our new truck is in district, and we're getting everybody prepared to be on it, and it's a beautiful piece of equipment. And certainly if you haven't seen it, we can get you a trip down to the shops, or we can make arrangements to have that piece of equipment located somewhere else so you can see it. And under upcoming events, administrative offices will be closed February 19th in observance of Martin Luther King. And if you're not aware and you do decide to attend the softball tournament, I'll be throwing out the first pitch. So if you want to take wages or whether or not I can get it across, I'd vote on me. So.
Wow.
That's all I
Okay. All right.
Isn't it a slow pitch?
And I'm even willing to go underhand if you want to test it. And that concludes my report. Thanks.
Like the confidence, Chief. Thank you.
Chief, is that slow pitch or is it fast pitch?
Do whatever you want, sir.
Thank you. All right, we'll have board member comments. Director Luth, why don't you kick us off?
Thank you. First. Yes, okay, a bunch of meetings, of course, just go through those real quick. On the 11th, Airport Commission. The 13th was a Chino Youth and Holiday Parade, then a Chino Council meeting. Chief one-on-one, attended the Chino neighborhood,
Neighborhood house tour giveaway.
yeah, that was great. We had great participation there. Enjoyed that a lot. The Coastal Kids ribbon cutting, and then the Union Party, that was great. Thank you. Thank you for putting that on, inviting us. It's so nice to interact in a different situation, different setting. Well done. The food was great, the party was great, so thank you very much for that. Congratulations to our 10-year recipients, and then our promotions. And Chief, I hear from you regularly about the kind of quality people that are in this district, at all staff in the office and on the floor, and to see people who are here for 10 years and see them promoting and to hear the good things they're doing is very rewarding. So congratulations to all of them. The only other thing I would talk about is Kiwanis related. So we had a golf tournament the other day, and when I used to play sports, if you came home with a trophy, that was the hardware. You came home with some hardware. Well, Tori came home with some hardware from our golf tournament. And I'm telling you, there was some other ladies that she took the ladies closest to the pin and longest drive. Wow. And you were up against some good competition. Congratulations, Tori. Thank you for being there and participating. We had absolutely a beautiful day. It was a lot of fun. And then I will miss the 11th meeting. Unfortunately, we have a Kiwanis play coming up that weekend. We open the next night, so I gotta be at that last rehearsal. So hopefully we can do this thing right. But
when do tickets go on sale?
They haven't yet. We're trying to get that finalized. I'll let you know.
We want to heckle from the crowd.
It's a cute little play. It's very funny. I think you would you'd enjoy, you'd just have some laughs. Either because the play's good or because we're messing up and you'll be laughing at us. But either way, you're gonna have some laughs, so. And that's the end of my report, thank you.
Thank you. Director Romaine?
Well, same thing, attended the Chino Hills Boat Parade and then the Chino Youth Parade, one-on-one with the fire chief. 2 Board of Supervisor meetings, one, the chief and I attended in person to just thank them for allocating money towards us. They're doing that for our e-vehicle / other needs device that we can purchase for, it's a high pressure, small orifice water stream that they can pierce batteries and whatnot, so they're gonna partner with us, so we intend, which was, they say they don't need it, but we're the only positive people there, everybody else is complaining about something, and then we said, hey, thank you, and they were happy, so that was good. Attended the Chamber of Commerce luncheon with Director Howie, that was a good event. Learned about a lot of upcoming stuff which may impact us. The county has huge plans for the Prado Park. They're talking sports arena, concert venue, all that stuff, so we'll see how the future pays out there. Attended the Chino Neighborhood House and Toy and Bike Giveaway where we got hot dogs and ice cream. Coastal Kids ribbon cutting, and then on a side note, I was shopping, I did make a child smile, you know, there's, 300 kids that show up or so? I mean, there's a lot. I randomly get assigned one, my wife and I took them shopping, it was like a great event. The other day, we're shopping in Sam's Club, and her mom comes up, and just like, is in tears about it, telling how grateful they were, what an awesome event, how she's still talking about it, how it was like the best Christmas, so I knew it was good, I knew it was good when we did it, but then here a month later, you know, they're coming up randomly and she recognized us, and I'm like, I don't remember, but then it was, okay, you know, so it's a tremendous event. I know I told you guys thank you before, but I don't think there's anything I've ever seen in this state of that level from this size of an agency that gets put on in the Fire Foundation. It's just a phenomenal event, so congrats to you guys and thank you. And then lastly, congrats to all the tenure guys. It's an accomplishment. There's like 3 big check marks, 10, 20, and 30, and then the promotions. So Captain Robertson, you got to do 2 in one night, so that's really good. It's double ice cream. Anybody working with him tomorrow? So, and then Engineer Gray, which is the best job in the fire service, engineer. Congrats to all those guys, and we'll see you tomorrow or Friday. So let's get a big dub. Thanks.
Director Evinger.
Okay, and I too want to congratulate, I couldn't believe our 10 years. I remember when they were hired, when we pinned them. Oh my gosh, so that's a big deal. It's nice to see everyone growing up in our ranks as well. Our promotions and our badge pinning, and I just, well, I'll say I attended to, as you gentlemen, the boat parade on the 12th, the youth Christmas parade. I had my monthly meeting with the fire chief, Chino Neighborhood House on the 19th. I just had a Fire Safe Council meeting on Wednesday, Chino Hills Council meeting, no, a week ago Wednesday. The Chino Hills Council meeting last evening, which, thank you, I got some extra time back. I got to go home and go through my agenda and wasn't up until like 10:30, 11. So I appreciate you guys finishing your meeting in a half an hour last night. That was a big deal. I also just want to really quick, I know you guys saw that I jumped into our compensation pretty quickly. I've been down this road. I've heard like everything. I think one thing that, what I failed to mention is that it's more than just attending these meetings. We spend a lot of time preparing. We spend a lot of time on the phone with one another, talking through. We have ad hoc committees, and then we have a lot of work, a lot of research. There's a lot more than what we actually, get, and not just the inflation. I'm still employed as with, maybe one other now, and,
Just me.
it's me taking vacation time, taking personal time off, as well, in order for me to, which I am more. This, to me, is such an opportunity. I feel so blessed that I'm able to serve my community and that I've been able to for so long. But like others, there is financial impacts that go for it. So, I know I jumped into it really quick, but I just, at this point, I stand and thank you, Harvey, for bringing back that, I forgot that little part that we usually go back and we cut that in half. And, thanks for bringing that back. And I think Andy has seen over the last year, how much work there goes into it, into this position. And as much as we love it, it's more than just, there's quite a bit of time that we take, in order to do our jobs properly. So, with that, Happy New Year, and that's all, thank you.
Thank you. Vice President Howie.
Thank you. Well, Happy New Year from me, and you're absolutely right, Sarah. You didn't even mention all the emails that we get, and we're constantly going through, reading about all the different things that we read about. Anyway.
Brown Act.
Yeah, anyway, the nice thing about going forth, you can pretty much say ditto and to all the different meetings. The boat parade, the weather was great. I mean, was there like 2 boats in the boat parade? It seems like now there's not that many boats in the boat parade, but, right. But boat parade at Chino Hills was really good. The weather was perfect. Same thing with the next day, the Chino parade was beautiful too. That was really a great event, as it always is. Met with the chief, the chamber luncheon. We got to hear Supervisor Hagman talk about all the different things. And the interesting thing about Prado Park, he's been talking about that thing for 15 years, all the different things that we'd like to do at that county park in Chino. Because it's a huge park, it has tremendous potential. Well, hopefully, as the years go, things will improve at that park, because it can be a great venue. Neighborhood house giveaway, let's see, the promotions were great tonight. I'm just kind of going through these quickly. And then, our Rotary Club we did the Rancho Chino Rotary Club, we did Saturday before Christmas, get to 20 different families and give them food baskets and gift cards and presents for all their kids. One family had 7 kids, another one had 5, 2 of them had 5 and 4 kids. And we were able to deliver all that, and that worked out really great. That's a super event in the community. And I think that's all I got.
All right, thank you. Regarding Prado, I'm on the Regional Park Commission, and the master plan is, they're just doing the final touches, and they'll be sending that to the Board of Supervisors in the next 2 months, so we'll hear more
Pretty ambitious.
out of that. But it's very ambitious for, a master plan is what do you want to do in the next 10 years?
Right.
And they're very ambitious to what they want to do there at Prado. Looking forward to your Kiwanis parade. Regarding the Chino Hills boat parade and its play. Sorry. Regarding the Chino Hills boat parade and the Chino Youth Parade, Chief, I'd like to come up with some sort of trailer or something that the board and maybe one of our guests could be in, or 2 people. Sarah brings her entire family in the neighborhood with her. To ride in the parade, maybe on a fire district trailer of some sort, if that's possible.
Yeah, we'll look into some options, we'll bring it back to you for consideration, and we can
Thanks.
go from
Yeah,
there.
can I make a quick comment?
Yeah.
I watched the Rose Parade, and in the Rose Parade, there's a couple of old fire trucks with a bunch of people sitting on. I don't know who has those trucks, but those look pretty impressive in a parade, to see actual truck itself. I don't know.
I want the pirate float from the
fair?
from the Pomona Fair.
I think that there's a happy medium between
Pirates?
not having our antique fire engine break down.
Well, I didn't say it was ours.
And but if you can come up with a solution for next year's parades,
Yeah,
that'd be.
we'll bring you back a few options. My main thing is that it's safe. I mean, aesthetically is one thing, but I just wanna make
Right.
sure we're not hanging off the edge of the thing.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. I attended the same events everybody else did, the Make a Child Smile, Stuff the Boot, Chino Delivery, Chino Hills Tree Lighting. I met with the chief, agenda review, Chino Hills City Council. the Chino Youth Parade, as I mentioned, the bike giveaway, Coastal Kids, ribbon cutting the other day with the Chamber of Commerce. Congratulations to the 10-year anniversaries for those members and for the promotions. Promotions are always awesome because it means we're just moving people up, and it's just so good to see. So with that, Happy New Year's to everybody. Have a very safe year. We're looking forward to this year, and let's make it the best. With that, we will adjourn. I'm sure I have this on here.
To the next meeting.
We'll adjourn to the next meeting of the Chino Valley Fire District Board of Directors to be held here February 11th at 6:00 p.m. With that, we're adjourned. Thank you, sir.